Welcome to the Launch to Six podcast, a podcast about how you can launch your online business from 0 to 6 figures in 24 months or less, regardless of your prior experience. Now, here's your hosts.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Launch 6 podcast. You're here with me and Tom, and this is the last one. 6 out of 6 Instagram special series focusing on making money through Instagram. And this one, I'm really proud. This is a very special episode, and it's something that's relatively well known within the industry. But if you're new to this can be hugely powerful for you. And that is focusing on getting influential people pages to promote you and your product. And that could be something huge. I mean, Tom, how huge is this? I mean, imagine somebody who's got 100,000, 1 million followers. The reach,
genuine followers is huge. Yeah, and we want to break this down. It's massive, and we want to break this down how to use influencer marketing, which is paid. But if you do it right, there's a ROI, there's a return on the investment. There's more followers. You don't want more followers, you want more sales, but they're quality followers. So this is going to be about a 6-7 minute episode, which is you want to get a pen and paper out, because I'm going to be going through all of the tips you need to ensure that you have the right influences in your niche, your space, so to speak, promoting you. But this is huge, mate. Yeah, this is very valuable. If someone wants to just grow faster, this is the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, where do you begin this with this? Can't speak properly. Where do you begin with this, guys? I am low on coffee. It's a bad.
Or he's too high on coffee.
Yeah, one of the two.
In the comments, everyone.
yeah. Comment below. Does Thomas sound like he's low or high on coffee? One of the two. Let me rephrase that. So, where do we begin? Where do we begin to engage with these big? I mean, ultimately, we talk about list building. These are forms of lists. They're so powerful. So where do you begin with this?
Well, there's different types of influences. So there's a micro influences. There's small influences, medium, and then large. So I'm looking at a stat here, a graph from later.com blog. They're a huge Instagram automation system. So they say, listen to this. So the engagement of someone that has 0 to 25,000 followers is 7%, 25 to 50,000 is 3.5%, and 1 million is about 2.5%. So The bigger they get, it actually goes down a little bit. But again, from 25 to 50,000 up to 1 million, it's kind of the same. But again, don't discount the smaller ones because they're a lot cheaper. They're going to charge less per post. So that is really, that's interesting to know. It doesn't have to be super big. So I'm going to go through some tips with you now. So to find the right partners for your Instagram marketing campaigns, especially if you want to get influencers in your niche to promote, you want to make sure that you check their Instagram engagement. That's very important. Look at their last 5 or 10 posts. And engagement rate basically means likes and comments, and how many followers did they get. So you can start looking to see, based on that, how many followers are they getting? And you can look at this data by going check Instagram follower data online for free. And you can see when that influencer promoted that person. Let's just say paleo, I'm making this up now. Paleo Foods promoted paleo recipes, and paleo recipes paid paleo foods $500. Okay. Well, you can see the person that paid, how many followers did they get from that promotion? That's important. So you can't rush this. You need to spend a day doing your market research. But if you do it properly, you're gonna have a lot more money return, and it's going to be amazing. So make sure, number 2, you check the quality of their followers. So are their followers of quality, or are they spam? Some people get spammed followers, meaning they're just VAs and robots. So they've just literally paid someone on Fiverr to have fake profiles follow them. That can be disastrous for you. If they aren't real people, but they've got 50,000 followers, that is horrendously bad for you. That's just real bad. That's like getting money and burning it. So Don't do that. But people, I'm sure many people, Thomas, do that because they don't understand. They don't get mentored. They don't have the education. So that's key. What do you think about that? Like, making sure the followers are quality.
No, fully agree, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, you are going to be making an investment in your marketing, whatever size that investment is. So you need to do your due diligence and have a bit of a process around that. When it comes to looking at these individual influencers, that's a great point, is to look at, how many followers do they have, what's the engagement rate, and then that engagement rate per post. Because ultimately you think, okay, so if they're going to promote you, you think, right, how many followers am I going to get off that? How many people out of their million, there might be a 1 million follower influencer. So if they got a 3% engagement rate, how's that going to then transfer down to me and then down to the next step of my funnel? So have a bit of think about that. And even when you're asking them, obviously taking with a pinch of salt, when you ask them how many followers do you get, or even better, reach out to other companies that were promoted by that influencer. So
Yes,
run your due
100%.
diligence. That's really important, because as Tom says, you can end up burning money on this. And this is where a mentor really comes in. Obviously, people who are doing this in the industry, etc. As with all things in business and life, I've definitely found that.
Definitely, yeah. So on point 2, check the quality of their followers. Make sure you use algorithms. There's software online, just Google it, to make sure they're not super young and they're also relevant to the industry. But it's key. If it doesn't have, the followers don't have to be specific to a country. If it's a virtual product, if it's an online product, doesn't matter about countries, but make sure that you just do some due diligence to make sure their followers aren't from poor countries. That is really important. So do your due diligence. But also, it could be, you could cross integrate. If they're into personal development, does not mean they won't buy how to make money products. So that's key, to identify fake influences and authentic ones. That is really important you do that. Check the number of their followers. Like I said, you want to make sure there's a decent amount. Check their engagement. Review the content they post. What's their type of content they post? In what niches? Look at what, who did they cross promote before? But like Thomas said, ask them if they're a good influencer. They should have the data. They should be able to answer all of these questions for you on email. They should be able to give you all of the analytics and all of the data and success of their former promotions that they did before. So it's very, very simple. Ask them. You can check their reach. So you can check their reach if you use, there's something called Social Blade. So Social Blade is a tool where you can check their reach. How many people did they reach on average? Their reach is active. Are they bots? So essentially, Social Blade, based on their post, will identify, are they real followers or are they fake bots based on their posts, which is important. This is really important, because you don't want someone going, I'll give you $200. I've got 1 million following and they're all fake.
I mean, at the end of the day, what it is, that individual is going to link you with a paying customer. That's ultimately what it boils down to. Obviously you've got your funnel, your conversion, but ultimately you pay them money, you get a paying customer. Now, if you have got a large percentile following of either fake accounts, maybe, as you said rightly, you mentioned there, maybe a lot of the followers are in countries where the average, person might not be able to afford your product. If you're doing, a high ticket item, then, ultimately that may not be the best influencer, even though they've got X million followers. And then ultimately making sure they're real followers. That's a really key thing, because a bot isn't going to pull out its credit card. I don't know if it'll have a credit card and pay you money for your product. I mean, that's ultimately what it boils down to.
100%, guys. And like I said, then just decide on 3, reach out to them, 3 or 4, reach out to them, see what their price is. Again, on average, each sponsored post, which means a paid post, an Instagram influencer promotes you. On average, it's about $250 per post. That's been a statistic. I'm reading this now. It's a statistic based on different research studied. And so a lot of people, 20% of people pay $1,000 or above. So again, you don't need to have a huge budget. And again, I would test it small. use a good influencer, and you'll sense it when you reach out to them. You'll get a feel for it, and then if you're in a good community or a group like ours at Launch to Six, and I Launch to Six mentoring, you can book a call, by the way, if you're interested in that. You'll know exactly what to do when we give you feedback. So yeah, I hopefully that's helped you out on this podcast, guys, and just given you some steps. But do your own research, do your own due diligence, and when you do it, you'll be happy you just spent a couple of days doing so.
Definitely. Lovely. Thank you, guys. That is the final video in this series. Final podcast in this Instagram special series. Keep tuned for our next podcast, and we'll look forward to catching up with you very soon. Hey guys, it's Tom Ash. We hope you guys have enjoyed the episode as much as we've loved putting it together for you. Please, guys, do us a huge favor. Hit that love button, hit that subscribe button, and review us on Apple iTunes. We do read the comments. We want to improve our content and give you guys the best that we've got. Equally, the best comment, guys, we will shout you guys out, and we are giving out free courses. So guys, please come hit that love button, leave us a review, and we'll catch you on the next podcast, guys. All the best. Take care.